In this video, we're going to look at how to pick a niche. We're going to talk about what a niche is. I'm going to take you through the steps and show you how to research a niche and show you how to start. The thing about a niche is it is a cornerstone. It is the cornerstone of your affiliate marketing business. And so what a niche is a topic. It's a specialized area where affiliate marketers focus on that, where they're promoting their products or services. So you don't want to be selling tennis balls to the baseball industry. It's just not going to work. So if you get into the baseball industry, you're going to sell products that are strictly related to the baseball industry. You're going to sell certain kind of shoes, baseballs, gloves, and uniforms and those sorts of things. So a niche is really a specialized area within a market. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that, but it is the cornerstone. And it determines everything about what you're going to do as an affiliate marketer. It determines your market, it determines the products, it determines who your ideal customer is, it determines the content that you're going to create. And so you're going to do it towards that market. And then within that market, there are specialties. So we're going to talk about the term that's often used as niching down or niching down, and really being specific. Once you get started and you've developed a conversation, if you will, with that ideal customer within that vertical or that sub niche, then you can start branching out. One of the mistakes that people make is they don't niche down far enough. And if you're just looking at a market, we'll say the electric car industry, that is a niche within the automotive industry, but it's a market all in of itself. And so if you don't get specialized and you're talking to everybody, you're not talking to anybody. And then you can go to the other extreme and you can go too far. And so if you go too far and you niche down, a good indication of that is that there is nobody buying products within that little micro niche. The audience isn't big enough. There's not enough money being spent there. So you don't want to be there either. You want to try to find a happy medium. And then, there is a lot of research and there's a lot of work and decision making that goes into it. So don't second guess yourself or doubt yourself. Rely on your research, and it's okay to go back and do more research, but if you question something, but don't second guess yourself and abandon all that. And then thinking you need to be an industry leader, you're an expert, that is just simply not true. Be a good student of your market and get in there and learn. You don't have to know more than everybody. And what you need to know is just enough about what you're promoting and know more than the people you're talking to or the customer you're talking to. And then, not tailoring your content to the interest of your ideal customer or your niche. So that is important. You don't want to, and I used that example of baseball a moment ago. So you really want to speak to their wants, needs, and pains. And then thinking a product is a niche. So, a great example of that I can think of is the Tesla electric car. And so that is not a market, it's not a niche. The electric car market is the niche. The Tesla could be a sub-niche. It is a very specific car within that market. So these are mistakes that I want to point out so that you can avoid them. And so when why picking the right niche really matters. And it really matters a lot more than you think. You can't just say, well, I'm going to go with making money online and then just jump in there, because you probably will make every mistake we just talked about. And as I've already mentioned, it is the foundation of everything. It determines your audience, your content, your marketing strategy, your offers, the products you choose. And so you're not out just to promote affiliate products or just any product that has an affiliate attached to it, but you want to be very specific and selective about the products you choose, and this allows you to do that. When you niche down, it provides more opportunity and less competition. It eliminates a lot of competition. So there's a term that's often referred to as the red ocean, and the red ocean is where all the competition is. It's cutthroat, it's dog eat dog, it's bloody, it's nasty, and it's where people burn out. But within that market, that red ocean, we can create blue oceans. Blue oceans are what set us apart. And we do that, and it's where we're able to talk to our audience and be heard and seen. And when you do that, you eliminate that competition of the red ocean. And you're not going toe-to-toe with every marketer out there. So you want to avoid that, and that's why it's really important that you take a minute and determine your niche. And you're carving out a space where you can shine. That's the blue ocean. So why picking the right niche matters, and it's thought I duplicated a slide here. So why picking the right niche matters, it's easier to attract your ideal audience than it is to try to attract everybody. And so the more specific you can get, the easier it is to speak directly to the wants, needs, and pain points of your ideal customers. And I've apologized for repeating myself, but they like to feel you're reading their minds. And once you get to know your ideal customer, they'll feel that way. They'll sit there and go, wow, this person really knows what's going on with me. They're reading my mind. How is that possible? And it's because you did your homework and you laid that foundation. And so monetizing becomes a no-brainer. So how do you monetize that market? Well, it's easy because you know everything that they want. You know what they need, and you're able to speak to those things. And so you can really just hand it to them on a silver platter. Now, there are a few points to remember when picking your niche, and you don't just follow your passion. You want to follow the money. And I've made that mistake. I'm really passionate about fly fishing. Well, that is just not a niche that is probably good for me to get into for a number of reasons. So there's a lot of money there and to be made, but it's not a market that's ideal for me, and I won't get into all that. So I find it better and easier to follow the money. So what that means is that we're looking at the market and we're giving them what they want. Now, listen, I said what they want, not what they need necessarily. Sometimes that'll overlap, but first I'm going to meet the need or the wants of the market. And so a person may need a new pair of shoes, but they really want to keep their old ones, for example. I don't know if that's a good example, but you can kind of see the difference between a need and a want. And so we really want to market to the wants, and we really want to find that sweet spot between what you love and what people are willing to pay for. So, I can fall in love with just about anything if people want it as an affiliate marketer. So, it's okay to go out there and promote your passion. So if you're passionate about, quilt making, let's say, and you have a specialty that is so niche down that there's a very small market, but you're passionate about it, that's okay. But if you're really out there to make money as an affiliate marketer and really meet the needs and wants of your customer, then you really need to find that sweet spot. Focus on problems and not products. And so too often people will pick a product that they want to promote, but they can't plug it into a want or a need. And so we really want to focus on problems. And once we focus on problems, then we can start looking at solutions. And once we come up with a solution, then we can find the products that fit that. And it will fit it like a key once you go through that process. So you find a niche where you can be the solution or the problem solver, and you can really help with that pain point. And people are going to respond when you can relieve them of pain or answer a question or provide a solution. You will find that you are going to sell more products. So a couple key points before we get into this is that you want to research some more, but there is a sweet spot there also. So don't let that paralyze you. Research, do the necessary research, go through the steps that I'm going to show you here today, and make your decision based on that. It's kind of like you wouldn't buy a house without checking the neighborhood. And, same goes for your niche, because you're going to spend a lot of time there. So we're going to do a deep dive into keyword research, market trends, and competitive analysis, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You want to know what you're getting into before you take the plunge. So, a lot of times, and I've done this too, is I spend a ton of time in a particular market or niche, and I realize because I probably didn't do the proper research, that it's just not viable. So, you waste a lot of time and energy. So be willing to pivot, and sometimes your first choice won't pan out. But as you get into it, you're developing knowledge, and you're collecting data that helps you make that choice to pivot. Don't pivot on emotions or just feelings. You really want to use the data. And so you want to be flexible enough to pivot. Don't just sell out to an idea and then you're just going to be hardcore and you're going to go down with the ship. So when you do make a choice to change, do it quickly and be ready to adapt. So the first thing we want to do is understand the landscape, and we want to pick a niche or a category that's evergreen. So what I mean by evergreen is it's going to be popular today, it's popular next week, it'll be popular and needed a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. And there's 4 areas, 3 main ones really that I picked, but I added a 4th one in there, and that's hobby and passions. And that's kind of a little shaky there. It kind of could be like quicksand if you're not careful. But the area is health and wellness, things like fitness, mental health, weight loss, and weight loss is a huge industry. And then you can niche that down into keto, and then get into keto, and then you can really niche that down to very specific areas, keto, and then you get into the carnivore diet, and so that's just an example of a health and wellness and niching down. Wealth and finance, investing, online income, make money online, affiliate marketing, crypto, just it goes on. And then relationships and lifestyles, dating, personal development, parenting, just anything that is relationship oriented. And then hobbies and passions, travel, do-it-yourself crafts, do-it-yourself home improvement, things like that. So there's just a lot of area. And so again, you want to follow the money. And these are the 4 main areas with a lot of room to grow. Now, first thing I want to say is don't think that a market is saturated. And if you spend any amount of time online, that it is just an endless ocean of opportunity out there, and you need to go into it with that mindset. So these categories I just showed you are proven. They're resilient, and they, even during economic downturns. So we want to do some data-driven research to identify some opportunities. And one of the ways we do that is once we've picked our niche, and I'm going to pick one today. I'm not into this niche. It was really kind of new to me. I don't know a lot about it. So I chose it, and I'm going to use homesteading as an example. So you want to look for steady upward trends in a market. And so I don't know a lot about homesteading, and if I was going to think about getting into homesteading, I would start with Google Trends, and I got it open here. And thing about homesteading, that is a niche, and then within that niche, as I started to research it, there are a lot of sub niches. And so we'll get into that in just a moment. But I want to start out with the broader term of homesteading, and we're going to do it as a topic, and we're going to explore it. So what it shows here is that we've got this up and down trend, and when you get in here, you want to set it for United States. You can set it for any part of the world. You can do worldwide, but we're going to just do the United States right now. You can get into different categories, and I'm not sure. Home and garden, so that's 2 niche down, so that tells you a little bit right there. And then we got web research, and so that kind of tells us a little bit about where that's at. So Idaho is the state for homesteading, and then we got Minnesota, and it gives you a percentage of the people searching for that and as a topic. And then we have some breakout topics. So we can compare that, and I like to compare it to something like fly fishing to kind of give a comparison. So compared to fly fishing, and we got a little bit of a dip here. That's the past day. You definitely want to go into the past 12 months. Gives you the data you're looking for. and here we go. So we can see here that fly fishing falls flat, and it was pretty popular last day, but here we have, you get a good idea of the trend over the last year. And so that's through keywords everywhere, and that incorporates into this. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that here in a moment as a tool for research. But here we have our fly fishing and homesteading comparison. So homesteading is quite a bit higher than that in comparison, and you can pick these markets. It doesn't have to be fly fishing. You can pick, other markets that are really trending pretty high. So let's see, fly fishing is the red one here. I had them backwards, and homesteading is down here. So I know fly fishing is a highly ranked and searched topic. One reason I don't get into it, and homesteading is down here. So that's not a bad or good thing, but we know that there's a lot of interest in homesteading. We know that there's a market for it. We can get in here and do a general comparison, and you can just continue to do this. You can add other comparisons. We can get into homesteading as a search term. So now we see that people searching for homesteading, we can see that from keywords everywhere, and we can see that the popularity of it, and we can see that fly fishing doesn't quite have the search volume that those do. We get into interest over time. Fly fishing is still up there, and then we have homesteading as a search term, and it's right there below the topic. So this is actually a really good field to get into or to consider. I wouldn't make that call just yet. And you can see the data here. You can see the states as they break out in popularity, and so which is helpful. So if I was going to market this, if I was doing geo-targeting marketing or pay-per-click, I would get into these states up here. I probably would stay away from California. Not a lot of homesteaders there, and I would probably stay away from New York. There's probably some people in upstate New York that are into homesteading, but you get into the Midwest, you got a lot more interest there. 65%. You get up here into Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming, and you have a good population of homesteading also. So this is a good place for me to continue to work forward. So now that we've done that, we want to do some keyword research, and we want to use platforms like SEMrush and Ahrefs. And we want to prioritize long-tail keywords. Those are keywords that have 3 to 5 words in them, and I like to use keywords everywhere. Now, the reason I want to keep this very low cost as we are moving through this, and so I'm not going to look at SEMrush or Ahrefs. They're very good. They do have, if you're doing this a lot and you really have a demand for a lot of keywords, it would be something worth looking into. But we can use keywords everywhere, and if you're not familiar with it, it's a plugin that you can get for your browser. They have it for Chrome. They have it for Microsoft Edge, and so you just download it, and then you buy a subscription. You can do the $6 a month or $72 billed annually, and it gives you certain number of credits to use. I use this. I have 100,000 credits on a bronze package, and I'm not seeing that here. So I've been using this a long time, and I might be grandfathered in. But this is a rare, fairly inexpensive type of keyword research tool, and here's how it works. So we get in here, and I've done some searches and on homesteading, and you can see here that Keywords Everywhere tells us that there's 27,000 searches a month. That is good. And then here it's got very low competition for that single keyword, but that is not a long tail keyword. So we come down here to the right, we can see other keywords that people are searching for, and we can see the volume, and we can see the competition. And so these are keywords related to the word homesteading, or the keyword homesteading. And then we go down here and we can see other words, SERP keywords, and their usage. And then we can see related keywords. We have homesteading, homesteading programs, homesteading for beginners. For beginners, there's 1,600 searches a month, and there's relatively low competition there. There's quite a bit of competition, actually, about 80% on that one. So you can see that there's definitely some red ocean here. There's definitely some market opportunities. We can see that it's a growing market. And then we get into the long tail keywords here. Homesteading in Florida, this is where you begin to niche down. So we would focus on homesteading in Wyoming. So let's just take a quick look at that. And we see there that it'll give us the data there. 260 searches a month. We've got very low competition there. So this is a keyword that I would probably focus on. And then we can go even farther than that. Then one of the things you want to be looking for, and I don't see it a lot in the homesteading industry, is you look for your paid advertising at the beginning of your search. And so, that is generally a good indication that it's a money market. But I wouldn't get too frightened off with that, the fact that there's not a lot of searches, because of the keyword right there tells you that there's low competition. And there's a reason for that. So probably, I don't know what that is exactly, but we want to look for that. That's a good indication. Then we can go over here to homesteading affiliate programs. I'm getting ahead of myself here. And so you can use Amazon bestsellers. If you're going to sell products on Amazon, it's definitely a place to go and see what kind of products are available. And then the next thing we want to look at is assessing the profitability. So we want to look for niches that support high ticket items, coaching, online courses, things like that. So what I did was I got in here and I looked for affiliate programs online here, and of course there's no competition there, but that's not what we're looking at. We want to look at affiliate programs for homesteading. So we have homestead education. So we can go here and look at that and see what that's all about. And we have courses, we have podcasts, and we have, what do we have here in this drop down? We have a blog, business, kitchen, and then they have courses, they have homeschool curriculum, all kinds of things for the homesteader. And so we can come down here and we can look at the bottom. And one of the things I've noticed about a lot of these pages is they don't have a lot of information down here. Here's this one. So terms and conditions, subscribe and become an affiliate. So that's what you're looking for. So they have an affiliate program. Let's just click on that real quick. And they allow you to become an affiliate, and they've got podcasts here. So this is something that I would dive a little bit deeper in. And if you're watching this and you're thinking about homesteading, there's a lot of opportunities here, and I'm giving you definitely some decent things to research. And then I looked at webinars on homesteading. So I wanted to I'm really looking for high ticket items that have a webinar as an intro. Because with high ticket items, you generally get a bigger payoff. And so there's a lot of YouTube videos with webinars, really more instructional. So I wouldn't write that off, but it's definitely an area that is piqued my interest and looks like worth diving into. So you want to look for, as I mentioned, the paid advertising at the top of the searches. Let's see if I can find something. That's not what I was looking for. Homesteading supplies. Here we go. And so we have some ads up here, and we don't see any sponsored ads. So it's a little concerning for me, but I'm not going to get too concerned. I would probably do a little bit of research and figure out, why that is. And maybe it's just not needed. You can rank up here. And so there's another point. You can rank for these keywords without having to spend money, which is a golden opportunity. But there is 390 searches a month. Cost per click is around 15 cents, which is super cheap. and you got about a 51% competition. So definitely this is a keyword that you want to get into. Homesteading supplies. I mean, the supplies are endless. We have canning supplies, wine press, fry clone, smart pail. Not sure what that is, but you know, it's worth looking into. So there's a lot of products, a lot of opportunity. So we want to look at evaluating the level of competition. So we've already looked at that. I've talked about SEO, again, using tools like keywords everywhere. And so what you're looking for is you really want to look for the unique angles and explore the underserved sub-niches and focus on those specific demographics. So, you know, one thing that for homesteaders are looking at homeschooling. They are looking at canning. I know canning is a huge sub-niche. So there are so many different areas, and one of the ways that we can find those is by going into a place like Google, and we come back to homesteading, and we can start putting in letters of the alphabet. So we got the Homesteading Academy. We've got people searching 390 times a month for that with no competition and no cost per click. Homesteading Animals, we've got 720 searches. So you can see there's a lot of activity here, and a lot of, you know, activity, a lot of opportunity that's not being capitalized on. So we just continue. Homesteading books, and you can see all the searches there. Homesteading for beginners again. And we just continue on, and there we are, just a search on every search term that we come up with. And you can go through the whole alphabet and doing this and get a lot of ideas. And so when we're doing keyword research, we want to start pulling these out, these ones where we know people are searching. And that gives us an idea that there is interest there. When you see, you know, 12,000, or that's for a definition, you know, 70 times a month that people are searching for homesteading DIY. That would be a larger niche. You would want to actually kind of niche down in that, because do it yourself in so many different areas. But 70 times, that's pretty significant. It doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a lot more search than is represented here. But this gives you just an idea. So very low costs. And then we go to the next slide here, validating our audience demand. So once we've come up with this and we've decided where we're going to go in the home steading niche, we can start to validate that. We can, you know, build a list, run a little bit of advertising, run a solo ad, you know. And one of the ways you can do that, many ways you can do that, is get in there and go to some of these websites and offer to, you know, buy a certain number of clicks from a mailing list, and that people, you know, a website that is marketing to that, like this one here would be a great place to maybe go and approach them, contact them, and see if you can mail to their mailing list and spend $100, $200 on advertising. You don't really want to look at content or organic traffic for this, because you want to test it and you want to get these results quickly. The best way to do that is through paid advertising. You don't have to spend a ton of money, but you need to spend a little bit. Now, it may seem like $100, $200 is a lot of money, and to some people it is. And, you know, and I'll never turn away from a $100 bill. But here's the thing, is you can spend months and years trying to figure out through organic traffic if a niche is viable. And the thing about it is that it may not be, or it may be, or may not, but you're spending all this time trying to get ranked through organic traffic, and you really are not getting the data that you need. So once you get that data and you get an email list, then you can start to pre-sell that campaign. You can start to put products out there, and you can even send out surveys to your list and get an idea of their interest, wants, and needs. So again, I've already kind of jumped ahead, but testing and refining your niche. And so when you're doing that, you want to put out a lead magnet, create a lead magnet, and you don't want to put all the information in there. You want to create a minimum viable product. And once we're not talking about a shoddy product or a half-baked product, but we're talking about a product that is truly helpful, meets a need, but you don't have to throw everything in there. You don't have to tell them everything you know. And once you find a minimum viable product, like a mini course, that you're using to test the market and you find that it's popular, then you can actually build onto it and actually increase your price. But don't waste a lot of time building a product that may not be viable and it may be a flop. So you do that through A/B testing. You can A/B test your market through different products, through different offers, and so it's a constant process. And once you find things that work, you're always going to want to be finding something better. Products that sell really well, you want to find maybe a comparable product and test it against that one that's working well. And that's how you find even better products. And you're serving your market or your customer through this process. And it's just an upward spiral and you're going to sell more, you're going to serve more. And really, affiliate marketing isn't about selling products as much as it is about serving a market. So that's where you come into scaling and dominating your niche. So brand positioning. And so as an affiliate marketer, you're not seen as an affiliate marketer or a salesperson. You're seen as a person who comes and has products that are helpful, that truly meet a need and solve a problem. So it's a way that you establish your authority through that constant content marketing, through paid content. And one of the things you can do to kind of cross-pollinate is once you start to create content and you're able to get social proof because you're going to create or procure customers, and once you do that, then you can get your social proof. You can also take your paid marketing and you get people on your mailing list. You can promote your content marketing, your organic marketing to your mailing list, and it helps Google and YouTube and your other social media platforms know who your ideal customer is. So that is one of the best ways to win favor with any algorithm. So you want to diversify and expand your reach using SEO. So once you've established a sub-niche or a vertical, you can then begin to expand your reach, expand your market, and reach out into other verticals or other segments of the market. And then you want to definitely automate your process and your growth. So these are the steps to take to determining a niche. I think homesteading is a great niche. Definitely, you can see the opportunity there. Using these steps that we've just gone through, I would go back through and rework that, do a little more, read a little more, just study the market. Definitely, I think is worth a market worth getting into. Definitely a lot of products, a lot of opportunities to advertise, not very expensive pay-per-clicks. So, just kind of stumbled into that today as an example. So if you want to get into it, feel free to do that. But if you can take the same process that we looked at today to come up with other markets and other niches and sub-niches. I hope this was helpful. And if you'd like to download an ebook that goes into detail on this, I have one down in the description, and it's all about picking your niche. And I appreciate you watching this video. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. God bless you, and here's to your success.